side. Yep.
Okay.
So set those aside.
We need to know where to get
So
those
which-
materials.
Which I'll provide them.
Oh, okay.
Which sample do you want to
Just
run? Do you
that
want to
one
run
right
more
there.
of bag C?
You want to do the
Or-
tank?
Let's stay with what we had so we can get comparisons.
You want to
So-
do C again?
Yeah,
We did bag C before. Yeah.
right. So let's do C again. And that way, well, we already did that one with the filter.
But that's at 50, and we want 100.
Right.
So we could run that, and it would be fine.
Right.
But we inevitably filtered out
Let's do
probably
it
a lot
again.
of the longer filaments. And notice that when I get this sample ready, I'm not shaking it because I
Right.
don't want there to be air bubbles in
Sure.
it. So, just give it a good turn. But
Yeah, the reason I was shaking it hard is because it's clumped, and I was trying to break the clumps apart and get a little bit more, but there's plenty in there.
So theoretically, should those filaments be even larger?
the
That
filaments
was
are only a few microns wide, and so
Right.
even though it might be 450 microns long, it can still pass through 100 mitex Nash.
Okay.
So
All right, so we need want to get a new
an
one?
empty test
Yep.
tube right there,
Okay, so this
and
is
we're going to do
be-
the glorious thing of labeling it.
Mhm. And this one is going to be bag C, isn't it still?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Bag C
I'm going to grab a
Sure.
that.
is 1. And this is going to be filtered
With
with
100.
a 100 micron. Filter, right?
Mhm.
Good. Is there
Great.
anything else we need to mark on that?
Not for my benefit.
I can't think of anything.
In real life, we might date it or put
Yeah.
the same ID number that we're going to put in the run summary. So we've got this mesh that we took
Right, this
and we
is what I want.
turned to make the funnel.
Yes. So you want to, that, we'll take this. Good, I'm gonna squeeze it, squeezing it first before we put it in.
We do not want to add air bubbles.
Good.
And the first time you put it in, you might have to push it
Yes,
through a
yeah,
little
right.
bit
It's
because
going-
of the water tension.
It's going through.
So let's do a couple more of those.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. More?
That should be fine.
Okay.
As you can see, the 9-tex mesh did its job.
Well, it sure did. Yeah, it's great.
And you can actually just rinse these
Mm-hmm.
and reuse
Reuse
them
them. Oh, good.
most of the time, yeah.
Cool. Okay, then back. So that's ready to actually test. Now, this has already gone through. So when it ran its auto focus, it went through the entire solution.
Mhm.
So we don't have to worry about now prepping. That was what I was concerned about before, is
We
getting
can,
it ready.
but let's just go ahead and run it as is, and let's see how many focus beads are in there, just as curiosity's sake runs. And
Right, exactly.
that way you can get a good sense of what it looks like when it's not right.
Right. So right now, we're sitting at the final.
Yep, so we
focus.
can move out of autofocus routine now.
You just say, okay, it doesn't do anything.
And we can close that,
Okay,
and we can close the setup and focus window.
this right here, this one?
Yep.
No, this one.
That one.
Okay.
And let's go to context,
Okay, context.
and let's go to fluidics,
Yeah,
and let's just do a 2 mil sample instead of 1.
okay, I see.
Notice our run time is going to go from 5 to 10 minutes now.
Exactly.
So that's
Wow.
totally fine.
Okay.
And
We're ready
we
to
already
go.
checked our context settings. They're still loaded from earlier. I just wanted to increase the sample size.
Yes, all of that's the same.
So let's hit OK.
Yep.
Now let's go back to setup and focus.
Right.
And our goal here is to manual prime our sample, so that way it's sitting just
Mhm.
inside the flow cell.
Which we didn't
So
do
let's-
before, right?
Exactly. So let's change the flow rate to 2 mils. We can do 1 or 2.
Mm-hmm.
And before we start the pump, we need to add some sample.
Right.
Which, because your sample settles so quickly, I would make sure that we give it a very gentle agitation beforehand to make sure it hasn't settled yet.
Okay, to use this one again?
Yep.
Okay.
It's, should be fine.
Good.
Great. So now we're going to start the pump
Mm-hmm.
and begin to bring the sample down. And as soon as you see it come into the field of view,
Right.
you can actually just hit the X there and close that whole screen. It'll stop the whole entire function
Oh,
at
really?
the same time.
Okay. So
Yeah,
we'll start
so go ahead and
here.
start the pump
Yeah.
and navigate over to the X.
Yeah.
So that way we're ready when
Comes.
it does.
Right. So as soon as we see it, I'll just hit this bing, right?
Great. All right, so let's go to auto image.
Here we go. Auto image.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Are there any notes that you want to take on this particular sample?
There's nothing here. So this is HTB1 bag C at 10x
10x 100 micron.
100 micron.
And we'll
That's
hit OK.
Yeah.
And now we need to save it.
Where
So
we're going to be.
right now we're in the 4x folder, it looks like. So we should navigate
Yeah. let's go
up
back.
1.
Let's see here. Yeah, let's just go back up here. Where is it? It's
Just
actually
click
in
on
the-
high tech right there.
Right here.
There we go. Now let's create a new folder.
Okay. And this one's going to be 10x,
Mm-hmm.
100 micron. Got it.
And don't hit enter because it'll start the run.
Mhm.
We'll go into that folder.
And then you want to
And we
change
want to
this
name
name.
that.
Can I do the whole thing? I don't have to leave the
You don't have to
LST.
leave the extension now.
Don't have to. Okay. So what we're going to do is today 0907, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think you put a dash in, and then we're looking at 1427. 1427, and then we'll add HTB1 at the end. All set?
Sounds good.
We're ready to go. Here we go, guys.
And go.
Boom.
So I saw a filament pass through.
Mhm.
I don't think it was
I saw one.
imaged.
I saw another one.
Yep. So some of the filaments might be too large
Mm-hmm.
for this objective, not
Well, we
because
had
it
it
can't
for
pass
two-
through the flow cell, but because
Right.
it takes up the entire field of view.
And we had it. It was set on 2,000 microns for the maximum size.
It's not the acquisition filter that's driving this as much as the size of the camera itself, where at 4x the particle is further away from the camera.
Mm,
So it had more time
Mhm.
to